one. And we're going. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Owen. Hi, Ella.
Hi, Lynna.
Hi, Sophia. Hi, Clayton. Hi, Alexia. Nice to meet you. You're a friend of Cameron's, right?
Yeah.
I'm Lynna. Nice to meet you. Hi, Avery. Hey, Cam. Do you see your friend Alexia?
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Hi, Winnie. Hi, McKenna. Hey, Vic. Say hi, Didi. Hi.
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 Hi, Adam.
Amanda. Amanda's here. Amanda's
Hi.
in the house. Woohoo! So, Amanda, you do not have to turn on your camera, but I did want to let you know Solomon was here last week, but Solomon was going to go visit his aunt today, so Takai had to cancel for today, but he says he'll be back next week.
Okay.
So you'll see lots of some Yuming folks. Hi, Ginger. Hi, Owen.
Hi, Lynna. How are
Is
you?
Owen there? Good. Is Owen
He's
back
right
there?
here. Oh, and say hi to Lynna.
Hi. Hi, Beck.
Hello.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Shirley. Did you just say thank you? She said, Auntie Shirley, can you go soup?
Oh.
Thank you for the book, Auntie Shirley.
Oh, how'd you get it? Did Grandma send it to you?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
I'm gonna go get it. Hi, Mayati.
Hi.
Mayati, Nula's gonna join us today.
Yeah, she is.
Cool. Did I need my other? Okay. All right. Hey, Chunkster. Hi, Sharon.
Hi. Guys.
I mean, there's still some people in the waiting room. So we're gonna get started pretty soon because I want to get us as close to being done by 6 as possible. Especially because we have some friends from Arkansas joining. Hey! Hi, Kira. Hey, Angus. Welcome from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Hi from Berkeley.
Hello from Arkansas.
Hi. I hope it's not too late a dinner for you guys.
No, it's totally fine.
Okay, cool. Hey, Michael.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, Shayna. Hi, Derek. Good to see you. Hello.
It's less recipe, a little more learning how things work.
Hey, Noah. Hey, Ko.
So we sold out a bunch of
Hi. Hi, Karen.
What should I do that?
might not
Hey,
be.
Lay.
So you're welcome.
All
You're gonna
right. I think, how many people are here, Mamers?
get more stuff.
A lot? Okay.
Potatoes,
26. We have our biggest group
cauliflower.
yet. And we have a pretty good menu, pretty quick menu. We're going to get everything hopefully into the stove pretty quickly, into the oven. So let's get moving pretty soon. Everyone's hands washed? Anyone with, hey, Taryn, hey, Shamimi. Hi, hi, Mimi. Hi, Taryn. Good to see you from just down the street. Hey, Amanda. Good to see your face, Amanda. Hey, Al.
Should we do like
All right. And I see someone named Maggie. Who's Maggie?
Oh,
Are you
that's
a
Griffin
friend?
and I. Oh, sorry.
Oh, hey. Oh, hi. I can't. You're very small. So, hey, Heidi.
Okay.
Hi, Griff.
I want to see
you
it.
need to know that you need to follow.
Yes.
So fun to see all of you. Okay. So, I'm just going to start talking. Hi, Tegan. I'm going to start talking to walk us through our first step. First of all, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our protein. So whatever protein you're using and our either potato or sweet potato onto one sheet pan first. We're going to deal with the other vegetables later, but the first thing we're going to do is deal with our protein and our potatoes because the potatoes and the sweet potatoes take the longest to cook. So we're going to pop that in the oven first, and then we can deal with all the other vegetables later. So what I have on my sheet pan in front of me is my parchment paper. It just makes it easier to clean up. If you don't have parchment paper, you can put foil, or you can just leave your sheet pan as is. But I'm going to use chicken thigh. So just keep in mind, you're about to get your hands dirty. If you're handling raw seafood or raw meat, your hands are now going to be pretty messed up, pretty bacteria filled. So keep that in mind. And also make sure your ovens are already preheating to 425. Okay? So I'm unwrapping my chicken.
Yeah. So we're both yours. I'm using
yeah, why don't we mute people for now? So we're gonna mute people for now. And then if anyone has any questions, you can just let Clara know, and Clara's gonna, you can either chat Clara, or you can raise your hand and Clara will pay attention, and she'll make sure that your questions are answered. So go ahead, if you have chicken, go ahead and just lay it onto your parchment paper. Don't even need to put it into a bowl. Don't even need to use it, touch your cutting board. Just put it straight onto your parchment paper, whether it's fish or tofu. If you have a big block of tofu, you can slice it into blocks, into slices. So I'm just putting my chicken kind of on one side of the tray, roughly. So I got 8 thighs. And the reason I like to cook meat with the bones and the skin on is because the bones add flavor. So whenever you cook, as much as you can, as much as possible, especially if you're roasting, always try to pick the meat that has the bone and the skin on, because you can always take the bone out later after you cook it. But as you cook meat, the bones will actually flavor the chicken or the beef or whatever you're cooking, the pork. Okay, so I always try to, when I'm roasting meat, I always use bone in, skin on. And so now that I've been handling this chicken, I'm gonna go wash my hands. So everyone go wash your hands with some soap and water, okay? If you've been handling your chicken, go wash your hands. I will do that over there with warm water. And scrub the backs of your hands too. All right. Great. So we have our chicken in front of you. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to season our chicken. So what I've asked for everyone to have on hand, if you have it handy, is get a little bowl so you can put in some salt. So grab your bowl and a little spoon, and then spoon in some salt. Maybe, like, depending on how much protein you have, maybe like a couple tablespoons. And just eyeball it. You remember how last week we talked about using your kitchen instincts? We're doing that again today. I didn't give you any recipes because I'm trying to get us all to practice cooking without having to follow a firm recipe. I want you to get used to kind of using your hands, using your eyes, using your nose to sense how much is enough. Okay, so I'm gonna unmute you all because I wanna know what proteins you all have. So Clara, can you unmute everybody? Okay, so I'm doing chicken. Can I see a thumbs up if anyone else is doing chicken?
No.
Anyone else doing chicken? All right, okay. Anyone doing chicken breast?
This is your side.
Chicken breast? Anyone doing bone in, skin on chicken breast? Thumbs up? Okay, everyone's doing thigh, yeah?
Maybe it's an update.
Okay, thigh. Sophia's doing thigh. Owen's doing thigh. Okay, anyone doing, oh, Clayton, what are you doing?
Can you guys see?
Chicken thigh.
Chicken thigh, great. Anyone doing fish? Anyone doing fish?
Yeah, shrimp.
Oh, shrimp and fish, Lisa and Beth?
Shrimp and tofu.
Shrimp and tofu, awesome, okay. So I'll keep that in mind. Taryn and Coda, what are you guys using?
Sausage. Yeah, sausage.
Okay. Sausage, great, okay. If you're doing sausage, anyone else doing sausage, you're done. Okay, this part of the roasting, you're all set.
Sausage
you're-
and tofu.
What?
We're doing sausage and tofu.
Oh, tofu. Okay, tofu too. Okay. So okay, anyone else doing any fish? I know shrimp and tofu, and we have sausage and tofu. Anyone doing fish?
I am doing fish.
Who said that? Ah, Avery. Avery's doing fish. Okay.
And Griffin's
Avery,
doing
if you're
salmon as well.
Oh, Griffin's doing salmon. Okay. Griffin and Avery, if you're doing salmon, what I recommend at this point is you can season it with either salt and pepper and olive oil, or you can season it with some sesame oil and soy sauce. So if you want Asian flavors, then use Asian. Yes, Avery?
I'm doing halibut.
Halibut. Perfect. Okay. So it's up to you. If you want Asian flavors, use sesame and soy sauce. If you want to do something more American or more not Asian, then use salt and pepper, any of the spices I'm using. Okay? Okay. Any other protein I left out? Sausage, tofu. If you're doing tofu also, feel free to season with salt and pepper, soy sauce and sesame oil.
We missed like the first part of it. We're doing chicken.
Okay, that's fine. I'm doing chicken too. So for those of you who are doing chicken, go ahead and follow along with me because we're about to do chicken. Okay? Okay, so Claire's gonna lead everyone again, and then I'm gonna talk to you how I'm gonna season this chicken. You ready? I'm gonna warn you, some of you may not love this part, but it's worth it. I promise you, when you season meat, you wanna really make sure you get a good amount. Okay, sorry. If you're seasoning meat for roasting, it's always a good idea to use a good amount of salt. So remember last week I talked about seasoning from on high? I'm gonna do the same with this chicken, but because I have skin on and bone in, I'm gonna lift the flap of my chicken. Clara, can you? Okay, so I'm gonna lift the flap of my chicken for each thigh. And I'm only using my left hand to do that. So only one hand is dirty. The right hand is gonna be your spice hand, and my left hand is gonna be my chicken hand. So now I have one contaminated hand and one spice hand. Okay? Try not to contaminate. Try not to cross-contaminate. So I'm lifting up the skin of each of my chicken thighs here. Okay? It's a little tricky sometimes if you're just using one hand. And it's not the end of the world if you have to use both, but I'm just trying to save a trip to the sink to wash my hands again. So I'm just lifting the flap of the skin away from the meat. And then this way I can get the seasoning underneath the skin. And that way the seasoning actually flavors the meat also. Otherwise, all the seasoning just goes straight onto your skin, onto the chicken skin, but not onto the actual meat. So now all of my chicken thighs are exposed, and you can do the same thing with breast. Okay, and I'm just gonna sprinkle salt over each piece.
Hey, Lynna, if
Get
we
some more salt with your right.
if we salted the
Ginger?
chicken last night a la Samin,
Yeah.
I'm guessing we don't do the
Yes.
salt part, but we still want the skin back for the other seasoning. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Sure. Yeah. So Samin is our cookbook author friend, and she always recommends coming home from the store. The first thing you should do is season your meat, because the longer your meat is seasoned, the better it tastes, and that's very true. However, today we're just going to start off as if we're just coming like straight from the fridge. So then when you're done seasoning one side, turn every piece over and season the other side. Same thing, same process. One hand is your chicken hand and one hand is your seasoning hand. Season from on high so that the salt really gets to spread out. And thanks to those of you who are waiting patiently. I see you, Shamime and Taryn, just hanging out. Did you season your tofu yet? Nod your head, yes? Did you season your tofu? No? Okay, go ahead and put some soy sauce and sesame oil on your tofu if you haven't yet. Okay, so I'm done seasoning my chicken, and I'm gonna wash my hands again. Remember, Our hands are full of chicken bacteria, but we're just gonna wash our hands again because we're gonna now touch our spice jars. Great work, you guys. All right. I'm gonna unmute all of you in case anyone has questions. Any questions so far?
For the shrimp, should we just do salt and pepper?
I think, yeah, it's up to you. Soy sauce and soy sauce and sesame oil or salt and pepper.
Okay, so we did soy sauce and sesame for the tofu.
Okay, so maybe for the shrimp you use spices.
For the
How about
shrimp,
that? Yeah, maybe for the shrimp, why don't you use salt and then some of the other spices that you have on hand?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be fun to experiment with some of the different spices. All right. So,
Hey, Lena.
your little bowl.
No, go ahead.
Diana?
Do I put the tofu on the same thing of the fish that I have?
You can, yes. Unless there's someone in your family that does not want the tofu touching the fish, because the juices are going to run together. I would be okay with that. I think it would actually make the tofu taste really good to have some of the fish essence mixed in with the tofu, but you can do what you want. I think it's fine to put it on the same pan.
Thank you.
Angus, do you have a question?
No.
No? Okay. All right, guys. We're going to move on to our next set of spices. So if you still have salt left in your spice bowl, you can go ahead and dump it out. Because what we're going to do now is use the same spice bowl and take your little spoon and put in some of the spices that you want to put in. So open up your spice drawer. For me, you can ask me too. I'm going to have Clara unmute everybody, and you can ask me what spices are okay. I suggested turmeric, coriander, cumin, garlic powder, onion powder. If you like something spicy, you can put in some cayenne or chipotle. But whatever spices you see in your spice drawer, I think it'd be fine to roast onto your protein.
Wait,
So if anyone wants to ask, feel free. Just shout out.
we got all of the spices, but we don't know which ones to use.
Okay, who just asked me that? Let's see.
Karen and
Coda. Okay, Coda. I would say maybe just pick 3.
Okay.
Okay, pick 3 of your favorites. I'm using coriander, and I think I'll use some turmeric.
What
Mhm.
what goes good with cinnamon?
Ooh, good one, Mayati. I think cumin would go really well, or coriander if you have it.
Wait, we're not muted.
Yes, no, Keo.
All 3?
Yeah, we can put all 3, Noah, Mayati. What's your question, Keone?
How do you add the sauce? You just like put it on top.
Well, mix it into your bowl first.
Okay.
Yeah. Angus, what's your question?
Would paprika, garlic powder, and coriander go well together?
What's the last one?
Coriander.
Yeah. Yes. Do it. Avery, what's your question?
How much of
Spices should I do with my fish and tofu?
So it's up to you. If you want to do something Asian, I think just the soy sauce and sesame oil and some salt and pepper should be enough. But if you want to do some spices for your fish, I think coriander would be really nice if you have it. If you have ginger powder, that would be really nice. What else? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if you have a specific spice to ask, let me know. Okay, everyone got their spice mixture? I'm putting mine into my bowl. I'm gonna put on the cutting board.
with the soy sauce?
What about the soy sauce?
What spices work with it?
Oh, I think any spice would work with it because soy sauce is kind of like just adds saltiness and umami. So if you have a specific, you could use cinnamon, you could use cumin, turmeric would be great. Okay, so I have my spices here in my bowl, and I'm going to go ahead and start using my spoon to kind of sprinkle it over my chicken.
And we don't have
And remember, we're gonna do it on both sides. At this point, if you don't wanna touch your chicken anymore, you can use a pair of tongs, and you can use the tongs to turn your chicken pieces over. Okay, again, it doesn't have to be a thick layer of spice, just a sprinkling of the spice over the chicken. Just a sprinkling should be enough. So I'll show you. You have a cutting board? Okay, so I'm just gonna take my spice mixture here. I'm just gonna sprinkle it over the chicken. And then when I'm done sprinkling my spices over the back of each chicken, I'm gonna turn it over with my tongs. And I'm gonna do the same on the other side.
Okay.
Alright, do you want ginger powder?
Yes, more ginger powder.
Let's do ginger powder. Let's do in there.
Actually, you don't need to.
And let's try turmeric.
Garlic powder. Garlic powder.
I don't really like this one.
Yeah.
Use garlic and then use ginger. Okay, let me smell it.
Doing great.
Smells like
Everyone doing okay? Sprinkling their spices on?
No, stop it. Stop it. You're going overboard. Also, we need to mute ourselves because we're probably annoying.
Hey, Lynna,
Yeah.
I have a question. This is John.
Oh, hey, John.
Hi, do we put any seasoning on the skin itself or just under the skin?
I think on the skin is fine too. We'll do that at the very end after you've gotten most of the meat covered. But yeah,
Okay.
on the skin is fine. I
And then
figure as you're sprinkling over the chicken that you'll get some on the skin naturally.
Okay, and then if a certain piece has excess skin, just kind of cut it off?
No, I think you can just leave it. The fat
Okay.
will render off and it'll make it crispy.
Okay.
So don't worry about cutting off any extra skin. In my family, we love chicken skin.
Okay.
Chicken skin is flavor, so we will keep all of our chicken skin on.
Got it.
And you can always take it off. It's easier to take off when it's cooked anyway.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you guys for all of you handling all this raw meat. Great. I did not touch raw meat until I was, I think, almost in college. Okay, so now I'm putting my skin back over my chicken. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of put any spices I have left over. I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle it all over. Okay. If you have your salt nearby, feel free to do one last sprinkle of salt over everything. Over the skin. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few grinds of pepper over every piece of chicken also. If you have fish, you can also put some pepper over your fish if you like pepper. Avery, that's some great technique there. All right. Everyone's chicken pretty much seasoned. How are you doing, Amanda? Good. Awesome. How about you, Zach? Zach, I see you peeling a carrot. Somebody else doing the protein? Yeah?
Oh, I'm assuming, yeah.
Okay.
No, we have sausage. That's why we're
Oh, good. Okay, good. Taryn and Coda, you got your tofu seasoned? All right. Okay, here we go. So we have our chicken here. What I'm going to do is kind of push it over to one side. Not too tightly. I have 8 full pieces here. I want to leave a little tiny bit of space in between each piece of chicken because I want there to be some heat that can circulate between each piece of chicken. So as you can see, I have all my chicken kind of spread out, and they're a little bit of air, a little bit of space in between each one because I want the air to be able to cook around it. And then we're going to put this chicken aside for just a minute. We're not going to put it in our oven quite yet, because now we're going to take our cutting boards and we're going to start processing our potatoes. Potatoes. And we're going to cook the potatoes and the chicken on the same tray, because the idea is the chicken or the fish or your protein or shrimp can flavor your potatoes. So let's see, who has sweet potato? Anyone have sweet potato? Okay, Avery. Okay. Beck, Clayton. Nice. Okay. Griff. Good. Okay. Okay, Zach. Awesome. So there's a number of different ways you can deal with the sweet potato. I have a sweet potato here. You can slice it thin, or you can slice it into chunks. It's up to you. Or if you're lazy like me, you can leave it whole. You can just leave it whole and just throw it in the oven as is, and it'll come out like a baked potato. It takes a little longer to cook this way if you cook it whole. So if you'd rather slice it, you can do that. I'm cutting the ends off my sweet potato because it kind of has this like dried out brown part, so I don't want that. So I'm just cutting off the ends of my sweet potatoes. And I think what I'll do is I'm just going to, should I do chunks or slices? Chunks? Okay. So Claire wants me to do chunks. So if you're doing chunks, be very careful. Make sure you have a big, strong knife. And I'm just going to cut it down the long way of the potato and then put it down flat. Put each half down flat and then cut it into strips. Like this. And then I'm going to cut it into cubes. Just like that. And each cube is going to be about maybe like almost an inch big. They can be different sizes. It's okay. So here are my cubes. And as you cut your cubes, go ahead and put it into your mixing bowl. Okay, so as you cut up your potato cubes, go ahead and put it in your mixing bowl. I'm going to cut up the second half of my potato. I'm cutting it into strips.
Wait,
Question? Yeah.
We're not using sweet potato, we're using fingerlings.
Oh, cool. I'll show you fingerlings in a second, because I'm going to use fingerlings too, Shamime.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. So I'm going to cut my potatoes into chunks. If your chunks are a little long, like this one is, just cut it in half. Doesn't have to be perfect, but, you know, so that they're bite-sized and small. So I'm cutting this one in half. It's kind of big.
All right. We're going to show Noah. He's going to be cutting the water pats. Ta-da!
Okay. So if you are doing fingerling potatoes, get ready, because we're going to do that next. Or small potatoes.
Check out Noah's potatoes.
Anyone doing fingerling potatoes? I like my fingerling potatoes smaller. So I'm going to cut each of my fingerling potatoes maybe into thirds. So you see this one here, I'm cutting it into thirds. Just so that there's a little bit more flat surface area for it to get roasty.
Yeah.
So I'm cutting this one into half, depending on how big your your fingerling potatoes are. Okay, you see that, Coda and Taryn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. Should we put our sausage and tofu in the oven yet?
Not quite yet. Let's all put them at the same time. We'll put everything at the same time so we can time it all at the same time. Okay? Okay. So everyone who has sweet potato or fingerlings, go ahead and start cutting them into chunks.
Hey, Lynna?
Yeah.
Are the potatoes going on the same tray as the chicken?
Yes.
What if we do not have enough room for the same tray? Should we use 2 trays then?
Yes.
Yours are big.
Okay.
You're going to need to have at least 2 trays because you're going to also be cooking your other vegetables too. Oh, look at this cool fingerling potato. It's like ruby on the inside. It's so pretty. Okay. So just cut up enough potatoes to fit onto your tray.
What about me? Look
Okay. And now I'm going to, so this is my little collection of sweet potatoes mixed with fingerling potatoes.
How's that?
I'll just cut them the same way.
How's
All right.
that?
And now I'm going to season this. We're going to season this again. Salt and pepper. So take a big pinch of salt in your hands. I would say it's probably about almost a tablespoon. But we're going to use our kitchen instincts again. And we're just going to sprinkle enough salt
In a pickle.
over your potatoes. Okay?
Yay.
Okay, so I'm putting on my salt. I'm seasoning with my pepper.
Lena,
Yeah,
Lisa, we're a little behind because our potatoes are really hard to cut. So just
okay, that's fine.
Since I'm using carrots, should I also add it with the potatoes or use
Yeah,
it separately?
that's a great idea. You can totally add carrots. Who asked me that? Who is that?
Sophia.
Sophia, yes, that's a great idea. Potatoes and carrots would be lovely together. So the other ingredient we're gonna add to this, and you don't have to, but I'm adding garlic. I'm gonna put in some whole cloves of garlic. So I'm not even gonna peel them. I'm just gonna take them off the bulb and just take off some of the outer skin. I'm just gonna throw it into my potatoes. I'm gonna put in like 8 or 10.
whoa.
So just throw in some whole unpeeled garlic cloves. Okay?
Not too much.
If you have garlic, you can do that.
Yep.
So I'm just peeling my garlic, peeling the outer skin off, but not all the way. I'm still leaving some of the peel on. I'm not crushing it or anything. I'm just leaving them whole.
Leaving them home.
See it.
Yeah, just peel it.
Oh, this is satisfying.
I love that.
Okay. I noticed this piece of garlic here has a little brown spot on it, so I'm just gonna cut it off. So kind of just pay attention to your garlic too. If you've noticed it's kind of black or green or brown, you can skip that piece of garlic. Okay. So, the last thing we're gonna add is some olive oil.
Shortcut.
I'm gonna clear off my cutting board here and add some olive oil. I'm just gonna run it all over. If you're doing fish and you want to add some olive oil, you can do that too. I don't think you can also put some olive oil over chicken if you'd like. I don't think chicken thighs need it. Chicken thighs already have quite a bit of fat on the skin. The skin's actually going to baste your chicken.
Oh.
So I don't think we need to put any olive oil on chicken thigh, but if you have chicken breast, you can if you'd like.
What?
Again, I generally don't, but you can if you want.
Yeah. I know it.
And then take your mixing spoon and then just mix it all together, or you can use your hands.
All right, here's a mixing spoon, Angus.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this over my chicken now. I'm gonna bring my chicken pan back in front of everybody.
Yes, there you go.
And I'm just gonna put my chicken. I know it's gonna be a little crowded, and that's actually a general rule is you don't wanna crowd a pan too much. If you can't fit all the chicken onto the chicken tray, or if you can't fit all your potatoes onto the chicken tray, it's okay. You can save some for your next pan because we're gonna deal with the vegetables next. So I'm just gonna put in just,
And we can put the rest on the other
just half.
so that they can see.
Okay. How's everyone doing?
Ooh,
Yeah.
good.
Good. Okay.
We need a minute, Lena. Clayton needs a minute.
All right.
How many are you doing? Entire.
In about 1 minute, we're gonna get ready to put everything into the oven. Yes, Tim?
Yeah, hey, so with the garlic, we just throw it in with the skin, you said?
Yep. Yep.
Auntie Lena,
Yes, Clayton?
how much olive oil should we put in the the
Potatoes?
vegetables?
I would put a good healthy drizzle.
Okay, thank you.
Make sure enough olive oil so that every piece is shining and glistening with olive oil. That
Okay,
every piece should be
thanks.
coated.
question?
Yeah.
Miss Ginger. So I've got old potatoes that look like this around the edge.
Okay.
Would you say those aren't as good? I stick with the ones that are all the way around.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
How old? When you say old, as long as it's not moldy, it should be fine.
They're not moldy. They're just like 2 weeks old versus a week
Yeah.
old.
Kind of
Okay.
dehydrated, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a little soft. I think it's okay.
Okay. And then
As long as they're not moldy.
and then if we have carrots and broccolini, should we keep the carrots with the broccoli or the carrots with the potatoes?
Totally up to you. Are you doing any other vegetable besides broccolini and carrots?
Potatoes.
And the potatoes, that's it.
Let's do the carrots and the broccolini on the same tray.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so just
Any other questions?
Yeah, so we're putting,
Angelina, do you have to skin the carrots?
You can if you'd like. You do not have to. I would just scrub the outside of the peel. The peel has lots of nutrients in it, so you do not have to peel if you don't want to. Just make sure it's well scrubbed.
So Lena, do we put the potatoes on with the salmon as well? We're gonna cook that and then do some other veggies separate if we have them?
So
Is that
what
right?
I'm going to have you do, for those of you who are doing fish, your fish is going to be done sooner than the chicken. So what I'll probably have you do, and I'll walk you through it, is I'll have you take out your tray with the salmon and take the salmon out and then keep cooking the chicken or the potatoes.
Okay.
Okay, everyone ready? We're running a little behind, but that's okay. We might go to 6:15. Hope that's okay.
Should I be preparing the other vegetables?
We're gonna do that next. We'll do that together.
Okay.
We're just gonna put this first tray in first. This was just protein and potatoes.
Okay.
All right.
We're
So
not ready yet.
into the oven.
Right.
Okay.
Do we put the
So
garlic?
the garlic goes in with the protein and the potatoes.
Okay. Wait,
Yeah, garlic on that.
Lena,
No,
Yes.
are we?
You're gonna make garlic
we have
all
the-
over.
We have the potatoes and
Yeah.
the sausage in two separate bowls. They're not on a tray. Should we
Okay.
put them on a tray?
Yes, put the potatoes and the sausage on a tray.
Okay.
Where's your
And you said 425?
425. So I want everyone to remember 425. That's a magical oven temperature for roasting vegetables and meat. If you're ever in doubt, just 425. It works for pretty much any vegetable and meat.
Okay. Right, no,
So make sure your oven is preheated and go ahead and put your potatoes and your chicken into the oven. I'm gonna set a timer for
Yeah, don't hold it.
I'm gonna set a timer for 12 minutes.
I need you to hold this.
Okay, let's mute everyone. Okay. All right, sorry everybody. I'm gonna mute you for a second.
no.
So what I was about to say was we're gonna do the vegetables next, but 425. For those of you who are doing fish and tofu and shrimp, set your timer for about 8 minutes. Tofu, shrimp, and fish, set your timer for about 8 minutes. And when your timer goes off, you can check that. It may or may not be done at that point. It depends on the thickness of your fish, but at least at 8 minutes, you can kind of start testing it. Like for Griff and Heidi who are doing salmon, I think 8 minutes will be about right at 425. For the halibut, Avery, it depends on how thick your halibut is, but let's check it after 8 minutes. If it needs more time, we can put it in for another 3 or 4 minutes. Cool.
How long do we do it? Chicken.
So for the chicken, like you and me, those of us who are doing chicken thigh, we're gonna do it for a total of about at least 20 to 25 minutes, but we'll check it together at the same time. So I'm gonna set my timer for 20 minutes. Hey Google, set a timer for 20 minutes. That'll take us to 6 o'clock.
For the protein.
Wait, how many minutes for the sausage and the tofu?
Sausage, I would say 12 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
And then you can kind of turn it too.
Okay. Wait,
Amanda, what protein do you have? You're doing chicken, Amanda?
Come here, Clayton. Lena, question.
Amanda? Okay, cool. Yes.
From Diana and Clayton.
Yes.
We're doing chicken. And so are we supposed to do it for 12 minutes or 20 minutes? We heard both.
20.
Okay.
20.
So.
But we're going to be checking, we're
Thank you.
going to be opening the oven quite a bit to check on the chicken and to toss the vegetables too.
8 minutes.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
Let's work on our, oh,
8
Keo,
minutes.
you have a question.
I know.
Yes. How long will it take to cook the chicken? You've probably heard that already.
Let's start with 20 minutes.
All right, 20
I
minutes.
don't think it's going to be done in 20 minutes, but let's just check it at 20 minutes.
No, I'm trying to wait until it goes down to 9. Quiet.
Okay, let's mute. Okay, all right. So we're gonna do our vegetables now. The first thing I'm gonna do is I have broccolini. So if you have broccolini or if you have broccoli, I have a big bunch of it here. I'm just gonna throw it onto my sheet tray like this. Just spread it out. If you want to have other vegetables and you don't want just broccolini, that's fine. This is actually probably too much broccolini for me because I have other vegetables. So I'm going to put my broccolini on here, and I'm going to put the rest of my potatoes and my sweet potatoes on this tray also. There we go. All right. So if you have broccolini, or if you still have leftover potatoes and garlic in your bowl, you can put it on your second sheet tray. And the last vegetable I have some cauliflower. So I'm going to just break off some cauliflower, not all of it, but just some. And we'll go ahead and put this on also. Okay, so maybe you can unmute so that I'm going to unmute everybody in case anyone's questions about their vegetable.
You have to, wait. What?
How do we cut the cauliflower?
Okay, I want to show you because I'm going to cut up my cauliflower too.
Okay.
How do we cut the fennel?
Okay, fennel, you just cut it into thin slices. So have your fennel standing up. Have your fennel standing up and then just cut it down to thin slices. Okay, Mayadi, you know what? Cut off the green parts first on top. So give it a haircut. Cut off the root, the stemmy part. Mayadi.
There we go.
Okay, yeah. Cut off that.
Thank you.
That's the long stemmy part. Okay, so Keo, was it you, Keo, that had a question about cauliflower?
No.
Oh, Coda. Okay.
Use us.
May and Taryn. So let's go over our cauliflower. So I'm going to cut mine in half because I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to save it for another thing. And with this cauliflower, I just wanted to cut it into florets. So I have my half here. And then you can see where it's attached to the stem. I'm just going to take my knife and carefully cut around it. And then it kind of falls off into florets here. That, just cut around the stem. And then I have like big and little pieces. That's okay. I'm gonna put it into my mixing bowl. Some of these bigger pieces, I'm gonna cut it in half maybe.
So cut these or just leave it like this?
Yes, that's okay.
If you wanna show me anything, feel free.
Lena, is this
Yeah.
what we don't want to eat?
What?
This part? The middle part?
It's asking me. Oh, Taryn. Yeah, you don't need to eat that. You can put that in your compost
Then
bowl.
are we also supposed to cut peppers?
You can if you want. If you have peppers, any other vegetable now, it's time to cut it into pieces.
Should we cut the carrots like sideways?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Cut it into chunks. Cut your carrots into chunks.
Oh, okay.
Cut your cauliflower
Yeah,
and broccoli into
question.
chunks.
What do I do?
Questions?
Maybe. I was thinking if I just left it off, I could.
Come here,
because
I cannot hear. I think either way would be fine.
that part.
Oh, and I love that tossing
You can
technique.
use that
That's
same bowl.
awesome.
It's Leilani. Do you need to cut the broccolini at all, or just leave it?
No, you can just leave it whole. Same with asparagus. If anyone's
Good
using
for everything.
asparagus, you can
haven't
leave
cut
it
your
whole.
peppers. You still got more to do.
Hey, Lena, this is
Yeah.
Caroline.
Avery,
We have
Use a
mushrooms.
knife.
We
Use
cut
a knife to cut it. Don't use your fingers. Use a knife.
What, Avery?
Yes.
We have mushrooms. Should we cut
Oh.
the mushrooms?
Let me see how big your mushrooms are, Avery.
Can you raise your, can you do?
Cut them in half.
How are you guys gonna deal with that mushroom? Ask her.
And then, Lena, what about peppers? Can you show the like? How do we cut the peppers?
I would say you could cut them into strips. Oh, yeah. Cut that into Avery. Cut that in half, and then cut them again into quarters. Cut it in half, and then cut it into half again, long ways, and then cut them in half crossways. So you have like 8 pieces total. Okay.
Lena,
Yes.
do you cook the potatoes with the chicken, or do you like cook them with the other?
I cooked potatoes with the chicken, but you can also cook it with your vegetables too. I couldn't fit all my potatoes onto my chicken tray, so I'm combining it with some of my vegetables.
Is it okay if it's like packed together, or should you like spread it out?
I would spread it out. If you have room on your sheet tray, spread it out as much as you can. But sometimes you won't be able to help it. Like, look at mine. Mine's kind of a little packed, but we have a really hot oven. So having a hot oven will help.
Like ours is pretty packed.
Let me see. That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah,
Thank you.
Sophia, that's fine.
How do you cut onions?
Onions, I would cut it into chunks. Peel it and cut it into chunks. Angus, you have a question, Angus?
Yeah. Do you cut asparagus? No.
You don't need to cut the asparagus.
Okay. Jeez Louise, these onions are killing me.
I can tell.
8 minutes going on.
Oh, 8 minutes going off? Okay, those of you who have an 8-minute timer for your fish. So check the flakiness of the fish, Avery. And Beck and Lisa, check your shrimp. If it's pink and if it's firm, you're done. You can actually scoop it off straight onto your serving platter if you have shrimp. You want to check the middle, Caroline and Avery, check the middle of your halibut. If it's still kind of like translucent, I would put it back in.
It's still translucent.
Okay, then I would put it back in for another 3 to 4 minutes.
Lena,
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
do you need to cut mushrooms?
I would cut them in half or into quarters, depending on how big your mushrooms are.
They're pretty small, so I just cut them.
Okay, then if they're small, then you can put them in whole.
Lena,
Yes.
should we olive oil them or in like a bowl
Yes.
or something?
It's up to you. So I'm gonna do both techniques. For my cauliflower, I'm going to olive oil and season my cauliflower. Okay, so don't forget to season all your vegetables.
Yeah, okay, this is my seat. No, this is
Season all your vegetables on your, and I'm doing the broccolini straight onto the sheet tray.
Lena,
Yes?
if we're gonna season with, we're using golden Asian, right? So would we coat the veggies with sesame oil or something else?
You're gonna do Asian.
So we're
I
doing
wouldn't use sesame oil for the vegetables. It has a lower burning point and it's pretty strong flavored. So I would put a more neutral oil for your vegetables.
Okay. What's a vegetable?
Like grapeseed, avocado. If you have canola, or vegetable oil, you can use that. That's a great question, Bernadette. I should have mentioned that. So I'm just putting olive oil, I'm putting olive oil over my broccolini. And I'm putting it over my cauliflower. I'm also seasoning my vegetables. If you haven't already, don't forget to season.
Lena, are we seasoning the vegetables with the same seasoning that we use for the chicken, or?
No, just salt and pepper.
Just salt and pepper. Thank you.
How are you doing, Taryn and Coda? All right. Okay. So everyone got their vegetables ready?
No. We still need to finish up our mushrooms.
What was that, KO?
Well, we need to finish up our mushrooms.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, that's not good.
I'm gonna start putting my vegetables, my second tray of vegetables into the oven.
Potatoes in there, right?
Yeah. Wait, no, we weren't.
She has the potatoes with her vegetables.
I have potatoes with my vegetables and with my chicken.
Oh, okay.
You can do both.
Alright. Well, we're gonna put all our potato. Wow, how does she do the camera thing?
She has 3 cameras.
Yeah, but how between them? Is there like a button that you use? Is it like
How's everyone doing?
mind controlled?
It's auto.
No, Clara's my executive producer, so she intuits when I need a camera change, and she changes the camera angle.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Here, let me help you with the mushrooms.
You don't need to.
Okay.
I need one.
Everyone. Okay, who's got their oven? Their pans in the oven?
Not me.
Clayton, nice. Sophia.
How long do we need?
Camera, not quite yet. Okay, that's okay. Take your time. We're gonna go a little bit over 6 o'clock.
What did you say?
You want to take the salmon off, I guess. Oh, I know what I want to get.
No, I'm gonna change her name to Joe.
Okay.
Let's see. I think some of you are gonna have sausage coming out pretty soon. You want to start checking your sausage if you put it in about 8 minutes ago.
Let's name it to.
You can also take your tongs and turn your sausage. If you have sausage, you can turn it in the oven and put it back in so that it gets evenly browned. Angus.
Joe.
Should we?
We're not doing 6 o'clock because ours is 2 hours ahead.
What was your question, Angus?
Right. We're not doing 6 o'clock because ours is 2 hours ahead, so it's actually 8 o'clock here.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. I meant yeah.
Should we turn the chicken?
You don't need to turn the chicken, Mayati. This is a very magical roasting technique where I don't turn the chicken. I just, because I like the skin crunchy, so I leave the skin face up.
Okay, thank you.
Auntie Lynna?
Sure. Yes, Clayton.
How long should we cook our broccoli and cauliflower?
The broccoli and cauliflower will probably be about 20 minutes. 50, like maybe 18 to 20 minutes. We'll check it together. But we're gonna flip it too. Actually, the broccolini might not take that long, but we'll see together, okay? Mm-hmm. I have broccolini and potatoes too, and cauliflower.
Yes. Lynna, I missed it. Did you say flip the sausage?
Turn the sausage just so that it can evenly brown on the other side.
Okay, thanks.
So Lynna, should we take the salmon out and then we just leave it on a plate and put the potatoes back in?
Heidi, if you think your salmon's done, then yes, you can take it out and let it rest in the serving platter and then put your potatoes back in. And like maybe kind of shake the pan a little bit to spread the potatoes around.
Got it. Okay, let's do that first.
Amanda, how are you doing? Good. Both your pans are in the oven?
No, that's not.
Okay, excellent.
It's pretty thin,
For those of you, Angus, you have a question. Don't forget to unmute yourself, Angus.
How long should we keep the vegetables in the oven?
It'll depend on the vegetable you have. So, what vegetables you have? Carrots, is it?
We have asparagus, red onions, and leftover potatoes.
Okay, I think that's going to take about 18 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
But some of that might be done sooner, Angus. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to have you check it every so often. And if you think the asparagus is done, then pull it out and put the other vegetables back in. If your peppers are done earlier, you can pull it out earlier too. Cool.
Lynna, we're cooking potatoes, broccoli, and cauliflower. So how long?
Mushrooms.
And mushrooms.
Okay.
So
on the same pan.
The potatoes are in a different one. Mushrooms, cauliflower, and broccoli.
Okay. I'm gonna say the broccolini might be done before the cauliflower. So let's check the broccolini after 12 minutes.
All right, Alexa.
Don't, like, 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Ready? Already had been.
How's everyone doing? McKenna, you good? Okay. Noah, do you have another question, Noah?
No.
Okay. Noah's hand's raised. Can you put her hand?
We are. There's a oven.
Hi, Rob. Good to see you in your kitchen.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are just kind of hanging out, now's a really good time to start cleaning up your workspace. Now the last thing we have is the lemons. I asked you guys to prepare some lemons. The lemons are optional. You can, if you have like homegrown lemons that you want to cut into wedges and throw into the chicken at some point, you can, or you can use it at the end and sprinkle it over everything. So that's what you'll be doing with the lemons. But what I would do right now is if you have, you can put some things into the sink. So you can clear off your spice bowl that you used. You can put away your mixing bowl, like put that into the sink to get ready to wash. As you're waiting for your chicken and your vegetables to cook, you can start kind of cleaning off your workspace. My timer has 3 more minutes. So in 3 minutes, we're gonna come back and check our chicken.
Lynna, are you gonna teach us how to cut the lemons?
Yeah, you can cut them into wedges if you'd like, but or if you're just gonna squeeze it over the top, you can just cut them in half and then just squeeze it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so those of you who have fish, Avery, did you check your halibut? You checking it now? Cool. Okay. Beck and Lisa, you guys got your shrimp out, I think, probably. Tofu, yeah? How's your shrimp? Nice. Oh, that tofu looks amazing too. Cool.
No, you're doing so much.
Hey Avery, how's your vegetables might need a little bit more time.
I'm doing so much.
Avery, your vegetables might need more time. I would keep the vegetables in as long as possible. The high heat will help caramelize the sugar that's in your vegetables.
Caramelize the sugar?
Help.
I think the fish is done though, Lynna. It was in
Yeah.
there.
Cool. So take out the, you can plate your fish or leave it on the sheet tray. Do you have any other vegetable on there? Is that tofu?
It's just tofu and fish.
Do you want your tofu cooked longer?
No, we tried it. It's pretty good.
Okay. But yeah, you're done with one tray. Awesome.
Great. Thank you.
Angus, you have a question?
No.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah, you don't like
the lemon is so Ella, the lemon, if you have like you guys have homegrown lemons, what you can do if you want is you can cut them into wedges and throw it in with your chicken right now if you want, or you can just use it to squeeze over your chicken and vegetables at the very end and garnish. How you doing, Shayna? You doing
Auntie
okay?
Lynna?
Yeah, Clayton?
Is it okay if we do both, like drizzle it when it's done and put it in?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
For sure, yeah. Nula, how are you, Nula? Nula, are you cooking?
I'm good.
You good? Okay. Shayna, how are you?
Fine.
You doing okay?
It's on top of the vegetables.
How are you doing, Jonathan and Sharon? Okay, cool. there goes my timer. So I'm gonna check my chicken. I'm pretty sure it's not done yet, but I'm gonna show you what my chicken looks like, and I will determine whether, how much longer it needs inside. And the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my metal spatula, oops, oh, okay. I'm gonna take my metal spatula, can you see me? I'm gonna take my metal spatula, I'm gonna use this spatula to toss some of the vegetables around so that they get evenly browned.
Yeah, just use.
So here's my oven. Ooh, chicken does not quite look all the way done yet because it's not quite all as browned as I'd like. So I'm just gonna kind of toss the potatoes around a little bit and put it back in.
I'll tell you what it looks like.
And the broccolini and cauliflower also need a little bit more time. The broccolini will probably be done first. So I'm just tossing it around. You see, toss it around, cauliflower, turning it, tossing my potatoes. And I'm gonna put it all back in. I'm gonna set another timer for 4 minutes because my broccolini is gonna be done in about 4 minutes. Yes.
What if you don't have a metal spatula?
You can use tongs or you can use another kind of spatula, Noah. Okay. Yep. Hey Google, set a timer for 4 minutes.
4 minutes, and we're starting now.
So the thing with roasting vegetables that can be a little tricky, but I want to teach you, is that certain things will cook faster than others. So that's why we want to be kind of watchful and take things out of the oven every so often just to check it. And it's really easy to pull things out and just put the rest of the sheet tray back in.
You want the ones that are lighter on the top and it's a little bit warmer. This one up here.
Nice technique, Noah. How are you doing, Amanda? How are your vegetables looking? Okay. Your chicken still cooking in there? The chicken's gonna need a little longer, so I would say my chicken's probably gonna need about another maybe 8 minutes or so, but I'll let you know, since we're all putting in our chicken we all put in our chicken at the same time for those of us who have chicken.
Yeah, we did. Oh, we waited, Carol.
That makes sense. Or if it's super dark purple like that one.
Alexa, stop.
Taryn and Coda, how's your sausage looking?
We took it out already.
Great, excellent. Okay, I know your vegetables are in, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, good work. Michael, how's your trays looking?
It's going pretty good. We took the tofu tray out and we're keeping
awesome. Excellent, good. Ooh, yeah, yummy.
Taking nice job, Noah. The mushrooms and the broccoli out, and then putting the cauliflower. Yeah. And don't finish.
It's fun to hear your voices when you cook. It's fun to hear all the cooking sounds and the talking.
Yeah. Cooking sounds.
So put it on the shaker.
So don't forget, if you still have some cleanup to do, feel free. Oh, Jonathan and Sharon, beautiful. Are your potatoes done? I think your potatoes, did you check it?
Not.
Take a fork and just kind of pierce the potato and make sure that it's cooked all the way through. How is it, Jonathan?
A little.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to put the potatoes in a little longer if you need to.
Little.
Yeah. I'm going to be checking my broccolini in about a minute. So those of you who have broccolini, what I'm looking for is for the stalks to look like they're pretty tender and for the leaves to be slightly starting to char a little bit. And you can also taste too. That's the privilege you have of being the chef, is that you get to taste everything.
No, not yeah, I know. Like
No, I said thank you.
Yeah. You want to taste? Thank you.
Tyler and Maddie, how are you guys doing?
I don't know. You just need to add the salt and
You have to unmute yourself, Tyler and Maddie. Tyler, can you unmute yourself? How are you doing?
We're doing fine.
You're doing fine? Okay.
Yeah.
My timer's about to go off, everybody.
Can I take a picture?
So I'm gonna come back to my oven.
Oh yeah.
Hey Google, stop.
Yeah, Google, stop. Why is it so hot?
Am I on the oven? See me? Hi.
Yeah, we definitely need to add.
Okay, here we go. So my broccolini looks like it's done. So I'm just gonna pull out my broccolini. I'm taking this out. I'm gonna check my chicken. Chicken is almost there. Potatoes are looking pretty good. I'm gonna toss them a little bit. Some of the fingerlings might not be done yet. That's okay.
How do you know when the chicken's done?
So the chicken will be starting to brown a little bit on the skin.
No, we put it on the. Did you put it on?
If you put your chicken in at the same time I did, your chicken is almost done.
But what if it doesn't have skin and you can't tell if it's like getting brown?
Oh, do you have chicken thigh or chicken breast?
I have chicken thigh.
You have chicken thigh. Your chicken thigh is probably done, Sophia,
Okay.
because I don't want it to dry out. And you put it in when I put mine in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So take it out and just let me take a look at it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm gonna take out my broccolini, but I'm gonna put everything else back in. I'm just taking out the broccolini part.
Hey, Lena,
Yeah.
for the chicken, what if we have like a thermometer? What should the temperature be?
Oh, good question. Let's see. 135 or 140?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try. Thank you.
I'm not a big stickler when it comes to temperatures. I just kind of eyeball it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm putting my cauliflower and my potatoes back in the oven because they need a little more time, but I took out my broccolini. So if anyone who else is using broccolini, feel free to take out your broccolini and put everything else back in.
Lena,
Okay. Does it look okay?
Lena, we are not as good at just eyeballing it. So Jonathan, when we look it up, it usually says 165 for chicken, but
oh, good.
Could be wrong.
John, did you hear that? McKenna and John? Okay. Sophia, let me see. I think yours could go in a little longer. It's not as caramelized as I would think it should be for it to be cooked. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe a little.
Yeah, let's put it in a little longer. Let's put it in for 4 more minutes. Hey, Google, set a timer for 4 minutes. I'm putting mine in for my chicken. I'm going to take mine out in about 4 minutes. How are you doing, Cameron?
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that. Here are other things you can try.
That was so
A
funny.
4-minute timer called chicken. Starting now.
Cameron, how are you doing?
Alexa, stop.
We're back in.
Okay.
Alexa, stop.
Go open the oven. Open the oven.
Hey, one thing you
Open
should
the
do.
oven.
Hey guys, spread it out a little bit more. It's gonna not.
Coda and Shamime and Taryn, you guys can yeah, check your vegetables and toss them a little bit. Mayati, how are you? Good? Okay. Your chicken almost done?
No.
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 Almost. Okay.
It's not almost done.
Tell her why you don't think it's done.
Like.
Noah, why isn't your chicken almost done, Noah?
Like I kind of feel like we got a lot going on, so now we got the asparagus out. But now we know how to season. Now we know how to. I think it's a great idea. Okay, hey, Rob.
Okay, so while I have you, while we're just kind of hanging out, you can, if you started cleaning up, that's great. That's what you should be doing. But the last, remember the kind of the, I don't know, 3 main ideas for roasting is, what was the temperature?
425.
Yeah. 425. 425 is the magic oven temperature for many things: meats, vegetables, potatoes, sweet potatoes, baked potatoes. 425 is very hot, but very good for caramelizing and roasting meats and vegetables. The other thing is to make sure you season well. So you make sure you use plenty of salt and pepper and any kind of spices that you have on hand. It's fun to experiment. It's fun to try different combinations of flavors. And the other thing is to check it often. Make sure you check your vegetables and meat often, because everything kind of cooks at a different time. So some of you had to pull out your sausage earlier and your shrimp and your fish earlier, and then you had to put your vegetables back in. So that's the thing about using your kitchen instincts, is to make sure you're using your eyes and your senses to tell when something is done.
Lynna, what if you have no kitchen instincts?
That's what you're learning with me, Ko.
All right.
That's what I'm teaching you.
All right.
Yeah. So great to see you guys. I love hearing you guys all cooking and talking. And
Lynna?
Yeah.
And we were checking temperature on some, and some ran clear and some red, like bloody. Is that normal? Is it okay?
So you can take out some different sized thighs might cook a little faster. So the ones that are clear, you can take out now.
But the ones that are bloody means they're not done, even if it says the temperature is high enough?
I think it's fine. I think you just have to let the meat rest.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
What, Angus?
Should we take the meat out now?
I'm gonna put, mine's about to come out. You can, yes, Angus, you can certainly take yours out and check it.
Use the kitchen dagger.
Hi. So if we're done, is it okay if we just leave?
Yes, you can leave. Hey,
Thank you so
Michael,
much.
let me tell you really quick. Next week, you guys, we're gonna do a Japanese themed like sushi / poke bowl sushi salad. So if you can have, if you start, I'll be emailing all of your parents tonight. But if you can start thinking about where you can get sushi grade sashimi fish, start thinking about that. And I'll teach you guys how to make the sushi rice. We won't be wrapping. Hey, Google, stop. But we will make salad bowls and rice bowls.
Nope.
Okay, bye, Michael. Thanks for staying. Thanks. All right, so I'm gonna check my meat now. I think we're almost there, guys.
We're helping.
I'm gonna do the cooking. I'm gonna check it.
All right. So I'm gonna turn off my oven. If your meat is ready and you feel like your chicken and your potatoes are ready, you can go ahead and take it out, and don't forget to turn off your oven. I've made that mistake many times. I've left my oven on. Avery, you all done? How are your vegetables looking?
Oh, good.
Good. If you're done, you can start plating it up on your serving platter. So I have my broccolini here.
Does this look
and
done?
That looks beautiful, Noah and Ko. Does it look done to you?
Yeah.
Don't hit the bone.
Okay. Then start plating. Plate it onto your serving platter. I'm gonna take, let's see, I think what I'll do is I'm gonna put my potatoes in the bottom and my cauliflower on the bottom. Just so that I'm gonna put my chicken on top, and some of the juices will flavor the broccoli, the chicken
Don't do it
and the
like
potatoes.
this. Don't do it like that.
Mom, you have to leave. You can't look at our plating set.
Okay. And then I'm gonna take my chicken. I'm just gonna plate it on top. If you have lemons, now's a good time to also get your lemons ready to kind of drizzle or sprinkle over your chicken.
Yeah.
Just like that. I'll take my lemon now, and I'm just gonna cut it in half and drizzle over it. We have it on the cutting board. Okay. And then I'm just gonna use my lemon as garnish on the side, like Clara said. Okay?
Oh, you can't.
So if you pay attention, look at the, if you pay attention to your garlic cloves, you remember we talked about putting in those garlic cloves whole? You can peel the skin off really easily now and it comes off super caramelized and soft. I'll show you, see? Look at this beautiful, yummy, soft, creamy piece of garlic. So you can do this anytime whenever you roast vegetables. Any other questions? All right, I'll still be here if anyone wants to stick around and ask me anything. But you guys are welcome to go sit down and have your supper dinner.
Lena, is the best way to know about the chicken is just to sort of kind of cut into it a bit and see if it looks done?
Yeah.
I accidentally put away the knife.
Thank you, Lena. How are you doing?
Thank you.
Hi, Avery. Bye, Caroline.
Yeah, I think
Good
that's
to
a great
see
idea. And
you.
just put the potato in the middle.
That's what I was gonna do. And the chicken.
Lena.
Bye, Ginger. Bye, Owen. Bye, Kara.
Thank you.
Hi, Angus.
Thank you, Auntie Lena.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, Kailani. Bye, Gianna.